Bear River Reservoir, June 28th and 29th, 2008. Elevation approximately 6,000 foot. High altitude dives present a unique opportunity in Northern California for divers. Often the clean, cold waters teem with a single species of life that is often cannibalistic upon itself, like these crawfish. An altitude dive is any dive that is made at 1,000 foot elevation or higher. Special dive tables have been created to deal with these additional elevations and the unique circumstances that they create. Buoyancy control becomes a critical issue as well, since most of these bodies of water are fresh water and different weighting is required than salt water. Repetitive diving is also to be avoided. In fact, it is recommended that no more than 2 dives per day be performed. There are very conservative models that are used by the recreational dive planner for altitude diving, but after a decade of use they have proven extremely safe. 2 health risks do occur that are magnified in the underwater environment at altitude. The first is hypoxia, or shortness of breath, that most people experience when walking up a hill. It can also affect you underwater. The second is hypothermia, when the core body temperature lowers and shivering begins. Either one is easily handled by rest, but both can affect you while you're at sea level. But altitude diving presents unique opportunities for either. It's important to note that depth gauges react differently at altitude, and depending on the manufacturer or the style of depth gauge, it may read higher, lower, or correctly for the depth that you are actually at. Unlike most other dive specialties, altitude diving does not require very much additional equipment. A dive slate to record your theoretical dive limits and your alternate or the recommended safety stop depths, and then also an ascent-descent line so that you can make your ascents and descents at a slower rate than normal, as again, it's a highly conservative model that's used for altitude diving. Specialized training, such as the PADI Altitude Diver and Deep Diver course, are strongly recommended for individuals who are going to frequently dive at altitude in these high mountain lakes. High altitude diving is a very enjoyable experience with beautiful scenery surrounding you. But there are special considerations that do need to be accounted for, and education that is helpful to ensure your own safety. And that's the most important thing.